Happy Valentine's Day as we welcome you to Hardeeville, South Carolina for Day 2 of the Low Country Classic here on the Eagles Sports Network. I'm Matt Scalzo, delighted you could be with me. To kick off Day 2, it's the same meeting that kicked off Day 1, Carson-Newman and Erskine College. The Eagles looking to bounce back after splitting the doubleheader yesterday, dropping their first of the season to USC Beaufort in the afternoon contest. When these two teams first faced off, it was an 8-0 run rule for Carson-Newman, going final in 5 innings. And now in meeting number 65 all time between the Flying Fleet and the Eagles, here is the lineup that head coach Michael Graves trots out against Mallory Ruzicka for Erskine. Leah Smith leads off, and this is a shuffled around lineup. So Smith remains the same, but following behind her is Katie Mathena, the catcher, and Abby Martin, the do-it-all center fielder, is batting third. Sarah Walker's in the cleanup spot as a designated player. Macaulay Bailey drops down to 5th in the lineup, playing at first base. Addie Saunders is a left fielder batting 6th. Grace Gregory, third baseman, is batting 7th. Emma Romika gets her first career start in the circle. She's batting 8th. And Reese Winchester, who was batting 2nd in all 6 games prior to start this season, drops down to the 9 spot. And the flex player is Shelby Armstrong, who will be playing in right field. 55 degrees and sunny down in South Carolina. Another sun-splashed morning as Smith settles into the lefty's batter's box. Ruzicka grabs the ball and climbs into the circle. Here comes the first pitch. And it's a ball low from Ruzicka, who pitched in yesterday's contest between these two teams. Didn't record an out as the Eagles were bringing runs across. First pitch coming at 10:58 local time. A little bit of a 2 minutes ahead of what the anticipated start time was at 11 a.m.
I think it's the same one. Both games. No,
As Ruzicka delivered a ball as
oh, yeah.
Smith showed bunt, pulled back, and it was high for ball 2. Next offering to Smith is low, and it's 3-0. Had a little bit of a talking to from the first base umpire after that 2-0 pitch, or the 1-0 pitch rather. And 3 balls, no strikes to Smith. Next pitch in is a called strike right down the chute from Ruzicka, and it's 3-1. Ruzicka pitched in the 4th inning. Was credited with 2 earned runs against her 3 runs allowed on 1 hit. And 2 walks with no strikeouts. The 3-1 to Smith brushes inside, and the lefty tosses her back down the first base side. It is aboard with a leadoff walk. Eagles in their alternate orange pinstripe uniforms with orange pants, also with pinstripes. Eagles written across the front in cursive lettering. White numbers and white accents seen throughout the jersey and pants, with the white socks, 2 orange stripes on the high part of the shin. As Katie Mathena, who's been swinging a hot bat, steps up and delivers a line drive right down the right field line. Smith motors around second, going into third. And just like that, there's runners on the corners with nobody out in the top of the first inning for Carson-Newman. And that hit right there is something that head coach Michael Graves has been looking for. He said coming into today, he's big into the analytics and stats. Said that Carson-Newman as a whole has only put 0.9% of their hits into right field, or any balls in play for that matter, as Abby Martin settles into the righty's batter's box, takes the first pitch ball, as Mathena swipes second base, and there's no throw down from the catcher, Hannah Lewis. Carson-Newman has struck first in all 6 of their games to start this season. It was 5-0 up until the loss to Beaufort yesterday afternoon, a 3-1 defeat for the Eagles. before the 1-0. There's a violation on Erskine, and count moves to 2-0. Corners pinching in for the Flying Fleet as the 2-0 offering comes into Martin, and that dips low beneath the knees of the center fielder, and an early walk out of the third base dugout for Aline Hawkins. She'll meet in the circle with Hannah Lewis behind the dish, as Erskine in the alternate black tops, with Erskine written across the chest in maroon, outlined in white with white numbers on the back. Solid black pants and black socks with 4 white stripes high up on the shin. And as Hawkins returns to the third base side dugout, everyone disperses back to their spots, and Martin climbs back into the righty's batter's box. Has been one of the hottest hitters on this team. And head coach Michael Graves rewarding her, moving her up to third in the lineup. Here comes the 3-0. And it's a called strikeout on the outer half. 3 balls, 1 strike. Base is open over at first base. But Ruzicka would really like to just try and get 1 out up on the board. The 3-1. That's low, ball 4. And the first 3 have reached for Carson-Newman. And the bases are loaded with nobody out. And here comes Sarah Walker. Walker, a freshman out of Mill Spring, North Carolina, has the lone home run on the season for Carson-Newman. Hit that against Converse in the second day of the Big Region preseason preview on Monday, as Walker takes the first pitch strike. Just catching the outer half, and it's 0-1. Looking at the defensive alignment for Erskine, Kara Westy is in straightaway center. Flanking her in left is Gracie Merrill, and in right is Savannah Coster. As here comes the 0-1 to Walker. Takes outside, and count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. From first to third around the infield for the Flying Fleet, it's Kennedy Crouch, Riley Rabin, Ava Rogers, and Gabby Burrows. Hannah Lewis is the catcher, with Ruzicka in the circle. Righty comes home on a 1-1 to Sarah Walker. Back up the middle, hits off the shin of Ruzicka, throws home, and it is in time to get Smith, who dives in head first. And is just a touch late. So Walker reaches on a fielder's choice. Everybody else moves up another 60 feet. And so Macaulay Bailey comes up with the bases juiced, and now just 1 away. Strong play from Ruzicka. Caught her on the low ankle, maybe just on her cleat. Appears to be okay. First offering to the right-handed hitting Macaulay Bailey, and she takes the first pitch ball low, 1-0. Bailey, the all-time leader in Carson-Newman history in home runs and RBIs, has gotten off to a slow start this season. Is just batting .267 coming into today's contest as she lifts the 1-0 in the air deep towards right field, and it is over the head of the right fielder, Coster. Coming in to score comes Mathena. Around third is Martin. Heading towards third goes Walker. She is thrown out, but 2 runs coming to score as Macaulay Bailey then, in the chaos of all things, heads over to second base. And it's 2-0 Eagles on a long fly ball to right field for Macaulay Bailey.
Now batting, number 44, Addie Saunders.
As Walker was out at third, and now Addie Saunders steps in. Macaulay Bailey over at second base. A 2-0 Carson-Newman lead. Saunders swings on the first pitch, tries to work it the other way, and shoots it foul down the third base line. So that's 2 hits in this first inning for Carson-Newman, both of them going the other way for right-handed hitters. Here's Mathena shooting one just down the first base line. And then Macaulay Bailey follows one up with a deep fly ball to right that got Savannah Coster all twisted around. A 0-1 to Saunders. Catches the outer half. 0 balls and 2 strikes to the left fielder. The 0-2. Saunders, slow roller, third base side. Burrows fields, but it just skitters foul. Next pitch to Saunders, an 0-2. Slow roller towards second. Rabin fields, fires to first, and it's in time for out number 3. As Carson-Newman brings 2 runs across on a 2-run single from Macaulay Bailey. And now we get our first look at Emma Romiko, who's making her first career start in the circle when we return on the Eagle Sports Network.
Wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
In 2025, we celebrate 130 years of Carson-Newman athletics. Over the years, the teams at Carson-Newman have been known for their toughness and Christian spirit. Through the decades, teams and individuals playing at the highest levels have brought recognition for this little school on the banks of Mossy Creek. While we remember the past, we look towards the future. So join the Eagle Club today as we continue to support our athletes and coaches through funding and facilities. Talent's up.
Join the Eagle Club today. Visit cneagles.com/Eagle Club.
Welcome back to the Richard Gray Sports Complex in Hardeeville, South Carolina. Day 2 of the Low Country Classic. Carson-Newman and Erskine dangling for the second time this weekend. And the Eagles strike first with a pair of runs off a 2-run single from Macaulay Bailey. Brings in Katie Mathena and Abby Martin. Makes it 2-0 Carson-Newman, and they continue to do what they've done in the prior 6 games, striking first to take a 2-0 lead. And so it's Emma Romika that makes her first career start in the circle. Part of all the shuffling changes that head coach Michael Graves has made coming into the second day. A freshman out of San Diego, California. Got the ball in relief in the second game of the season against Concord as Romika comes home on a first pitch to Savannah Coster, the right fielder. Misses high and outside to the left-handed hitter, and it's 1-0. Romika works with the right hand as the 1-0 comes in, and that is high, 2 balls and no strikes. The lineup for the Flying Fleet is Savannah Coster, Hannah Lewis, and Gabby Burrows that are due up in the bottom of the first. Batting in the cleanup spot is the first baseman, Kennedy Crouch. As the 2-0 comes in from Romika, she burns the outside edge. 2 balls and a strike. Summer Nelson's batting 5th as a designated player. The second baseman, Riley Rabin, bats 6th. As the 2-1 comes in, Coster on the ground, fielded by the first baseman, Bailey, as she was playing in from the first base corner and tags Coster out about halfway up the line for out number 1. And so that brings up Hannah Lewis, the catcher. Kara West is the center fielder batting 7th, and batting 8th is the left fielder, Gracie Merrill. Ava Rogers rounds things out, playing at shortstop today. First pitch to Lewis, and she fouls it away. Straight behind home plate, 0-1. Romika has appeared as a pinch runner in as a pinch runner against Davis and Elkins, and pinch hit in the loss against Beaufort yesterday. As she comes home on the 0-1, and this is pulled foul down the left field line by Lewis, and it's 0-2. was actually a pinch hitter in the what would eventually be the final out for Carson-Newman against Beaufort. In the circle for Romika, got the ball in relief, as I said, against Concord. Went 2 innings, giving up 5 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. As the Eagles eked out a 6-5 win to improve to 2-0 on the season. As the 2-0 comes in towards Lewis and sails high above the zone. 1-2. Next pitch from Romika is a 1-2 fly ball lifted out towards right field. Armstrong moves into the right center field gap and makes the play for out number 2. And we'll take a look at the Carson-Newman defensive alignment. Abby Martin is in straightaway center. Joining her in right is Shelby Armstrong, who just made the play. She is the flex player today for Carson-Newman. Addie Saunders is in left. On the corners, it is Macaulay Bailey at first and Grace Gregory at third, and then it's the freshman duo up the middle with Reese Winchester at second, Malia Smith at shortstop. Katie Mathena gets her first start behind home plate. As the first pitch from Romika skips in the dirt and gets to the backstop past Romika, or excuse me, past Mathena. And it's 1-0 to Gabby Burrows. The 1-0 wave and a miss from Burrows, cuts through the fastball, and it's 1-1. Burrows, the team leader in batting average coming into today, batting .316. Was an all-conference Carolinas player last year, along with all-region. She works the 1-1 in the air towards right. Armstrong takes a couple of steps in and secures it for out number 3. As Romika works a 1-2-3, bottom of the first in her first career start as the Carson-Newman bats coming back up. It's Gregory, Romika, and Winchester due up in the top of the second when we come back on the Eagle Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long. From the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your home more comfortable and affordable? Maybe with a new electric heat pump or new attic insulation? And don't forget new doors and windows. AEC is here to help. We have a quality contractor network, easy financing, and incentives for home upgrades. Plus, AEC carefully inspects every job to ensure the highest quality satisfaction. Visit our website at aeccoop.org for applications, contractor lists, and more details. AEC, power what matters most.
We welcome you back to the Richard Gray Sports Complex in Hardyville, South Carolina for Day 2 of the Low Country Classic. Carson-Newman trying to bounce back from splitting the doubleheader yesterday against Erskine and USC Beaufort. Took their first loss of the season in the afternoon to the Sand Sharks. And they're off to a good start here against the Flying Fleet, up 2-0 as we come into the top of the second inning. Carson-Newman run-ruled Erskine 8-0 yesterday. As it is 7, 8, and 9 due up for Carson-Newman in the bottom half, or excuse me, the top half of this second inning. Gregory, Romika, and Winchester. As Grace Gregory digs into the righty's batter's box, facing Mallory Ruzicka. Matt Scalzo with you on the Eagle Sports Network. Happy you could join me on this Valentine's Day Saturday. As the first pitch to Gregory is outside to the righty, 1-0. Gregory had been batting fourth to start the season, was dropped down to fifth yesterday, and now is shuffled all the way down to 7 as she's gotten off to a slow start this season. 1-0 is low, 2 balls, no strikes to the transfer from North Alabama. All of the qualified hitters that have started, Gregory ranks at the bottom, just batting 111 coming into today's contest. Is 2 for 18 on the season. The 2-0 dips down and away, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Gregory, though, has had 2 extra base hits on her 2 hits this season, a triple and a double yesterday. That was smoked into left center against this flying Fleet. 3-0, low to Gregory, and she's aboard on a 4-pitch free pass. So here comes the pitcher, Emma Romika. Second time this season that head coach Michael Graves has had the pitcher in the batting order. It worked the first time around against Converse with Sarah Walker. Went five good innings and also delivered the first home run of the season as Romika swings on the first pitch, works it the other way, down into the right field corner. Catch is made by Coster. Gregory will tag from first and head into second. And here comes the 9-hitter, Reese Winchester. So didn't have a whole lot of time to talk about Emma Romika. It was just her second at-bat of the season. She falls to 0 for 2. As Reese Winchester, fellow San Diego, California native, along with Romika, both going to Foothills Christian. Winchester digs in and takes the first pitch ball on the outer half, and it's 1-0. Winchester was batting second in all 6 games prior to today. Started the season well, has struggled a little bit as of late, but still doing a good job as the 1-0 catches the bottom rail, 1-1. Another player like Abby Martin that's got good speed and is a good slapper that can really set the table for the top of this Carson-Newman order that is looming with Malia Smith standing on deck. The 1-1. Winchester, chopper up the middle, fielded by Rogers as she drops to a knee at shortstop and flips it on to first for out number 2. Gregory holds over at second, and with 2 away, it turns back over to the top of the order with Malia Smith, who worked a walk her last time up, eventually came in to score on the 2-run single from Macaulay Bailey. Smith with tremendous speed. And Erskine honoring that with the corners pinching in Crouch and Burrows. First pitch to Smith, slapped back up the middle. Rogers fields again and fires to first for out number 3. So Gregory gets out with a leadoff walk, but Ruzicka answers back, putting the next 3 down in order as the Eagles strand 1 in the top of the second. Head to the bottom half. Still 2-0 Carson-Newman on the Eagle Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
We welcome you back to Hardeeville, South Carolina for the bottom of the second inning between Carson-Newman and Erskine. It's a 2-0 lead for the Eagles as Emma Romika settles back into the circle. After a 1-2-3 bottom of the first, we'll face 4, 5, and 6 in the Flying Fleet lineup, beginning with Kennedy Crouch, the first baseman, followed by Summer Nelson and Riley Rabin. For Erskine in this bottom half of the second inning, Romika the righty against the lefty and Crouch, and the first offering misses high and outside, 1-0. A beautiful day in Hardeeville. Per my Apple Watch, it is 60 degrees and sunny at 11:21 local time. The 1-0 to Crouch misses down and away, 2-0. Stark difference from what it was last weekend in Johnson City. The opening day game against Glenville State for Carson-Newman was in the low 30s as the 2-0 from Romika finds bottom part of the zone, 2-1. And for my family back up north and my friends in Chicago, I think they're a little nervous that a glacier is going to appear in Lake Michigan with how cold it is, as Crouch grounds the 2-1 down the first base side, and it skitters to the right side of the line for a foul ball, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I remember I was checking the weather when I got here. I was happy to kind of get out of the cold a little bit. Still a little cold in Jefferson City, Tennessee. It's been warming up over the last couple of days. But the sun is appearing here and there. The 2-2 from Romika catches Crouch looking as it hits the bottom part of the zone, and Romika's got her first strikeout of the afternoon. Puts one away in the bottom half of the second inning. But this sun shining down on me. I felt when I looked in the mirror last night, I might have gotten a little sunburned on my cheeks. I was wearing sunglasses in game 2 of the doubleheader yesterday as Burrows takes the first pitch strike and Nelson takes the first pitch strike and it's 0-1. Romika comes home on the 0-1 delivery to the designated player, Nelson. Count moves to 1-1. But I know my family is very jealous that I get to enjoy this warm weather. When I check the weather back up in Connecticut, it is still in the low 30s, dropping into the 20s as Nelson lifts one out towards right field, and diving attempt by Armstrong. She's unable to come up with the catch. Tumbles over and is slow to get up, but she appears to be okay, as Nelson is aboard on an 0-1 base hit. First base runner for the Flying Fleet today. And the first hit for Erskine comes from the designated player in Summer Nelson. She'll be pinch ran for. So we'll try to get that number. Brings up Riley Rabin. Rabin, the second baseman, did not play in the first contest between these two yesterday morning. An 8-0 win for Carson-Newman. They're off to a good start, up 2-0 with one away, but a runner on first as Romika deals with her first bit of traffic on the base pass. First pitch to Rabin. The righty misses inside for ball 1. Romika looks at the wristband on her left arm. Comes in on the 1-0 and it's low. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 to Rabin. Runner going, snaps one to third, and a catch is made by Gregory. Fires it back across the diamond, and it's in time for an inning-ending double play. Just how they drew it up. A line out to third, and then a 5-3 putout ends the inning for Romika, and it's an unconventional 1-2-3 inning, but it goes in the book the same as Carson-Newman heads into the third, up 2-0 here on the Eagle Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
Back on the Eagles Sports Network, top of the third inning, a 2-0 lead for Carson-Newman. Katie Mathena leads off and takes a first pitch strike from Ruzicka. It's 0-1. Matt Scouser with you on the Eagle Sports Network. 2-0 Carson-Newman lead, scoring both runs in the first inning. As Ruzicka comes home on the 0-1. Just misses beneath the zone on the drop pitch, and it's 1-1 to Mathena, who's 1 for 1 today. Wasted no time with a bouncing ball caroming down the first base side and sneaked under the glove of Crouch for a base hit as Mathena waves and misses on the 1-1. It's 1-2. Mathena's base hit put runners on the corners. Mathena eventually scored on the 2-run single from Macaulay Bailey. 1-2. High and outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mathena. Came into today's contest batting .364, 4 for 11 to start the year. Team leading 5 runs scored, make it 6 now. And someone that has been impressing head coach Michael Graves. 2-2. Just misses outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The count runs full. And someone that appeared basically exclusively as a pinch runner last season, had 5 at-bats and picked up a hit. Mathena has now been one of the hottest bats in this Carson-Newman order. Payoff pitch comes in. Mathena drives in the air, left field, pushing Merrill back, and she'll make a catch. A few steps in front of the left field wall for out number 1. As that brings up Abby Martin, and it's plays like that, although Mathena is not the main culprit in plays such as that, but head coach Michael Graves trying to avoid the lazy fly ball. It has been something that has been hurting his team, he's felt, through the first 6 games to start this season, as Abby Martin takes a first pitch ball outside, and it's 1-0. And when he was talking on the bus, he talked about working balls the other way, and he said he wants line drives. That's what he wants. He wants base runners. Felt even despite the run rule yesterday as the 1-0 to Martin comes in. And it's a strike on the bottom rail, 1-1. He felt that there was still some inconsistencies if you truly dissect what happened in the 8-0 win over the Flying Fleet. Took advantage of some walks and got some hits in some key spots as Martin drives the 1-1 right back up the middle, and it sneaks under the glove of a diving Rabin at second. She's aboard with a 1-out base hit. Brings up Sarah Walker. And Martin, just like Mathena, another player that really isn't someone to blame for the struggles this season. Came into today batting .429, reached on a walk. There she is with a single again as Sarah Walker steps in. Takes the first pitch ball, down and away, 1-0. And Martin, just like Mathena, also came in with 5 runs scored and now up to 6 as those two continue to be fire starters in this Carson-Newman order. Martin going on the 1-0. Walker grounds it foul, third base side. 1-1. Walker, another freshman that has been so impressive to start the year, comes into today batting .417. 5 for 12, 4 runs scored. As I said, has the lone home run on the season as she drives the 1-1 the other way, and it skips off the cleat of Rabin and splinters into center field. As Walker is aboard, reaching on an error.
Now batting, number 40.
And Martin
Molly Bailey.
will advance 2 bases in the process. Brings up Macaulay Bailey, who's in another situation to drive in some more runs. And there is a pinch runner. Shelby Armstrong, the flex player for Carson-Newman, is going to slide in place of Walker on the bases. Brings up Macaulay Bailey. Armstrong with more speed on the bases. Bailey showing bunt, pulls back as Armstrong is going on the first pitch. And the throw down to second, cut off by Rabin. As Armstrong is in with a stolen base. Bailey took a first pitch strike. Puts both runners in scoring position now. As Bailey looks to add 2 more RBIs to her day to start Game 1, the 0-1. Off speed that hangs upstairs. And the count moves to 1-1. One to Bailey. Hard hit line drive back up the middle and into center field. Scoring with ease is Martin, rounding third, and coming in is Armstrong. Bailey comes through once again. Another 2-run single for Macaulay Bailey. And has taken that pregame talk from head coach Michael Graves to heart. Has driven in all 4 runs. And it's a 4-0 Carson-Newman lead. Brings up Addie Saunders. First pitch to Saunders is down away to the left-handed hitter, 1-0. Macaulay Bailey coming into today just had 1 RBI and was 4 for 15 to start the season. Program leader in career home runs, career RBIs. Still looking for her first long ball, but she has put the ball in play. Has been close on a couple of occasions to start this season as the 1-0 from Saunders lifted foul down the third base line, 1-1. There's a trio of Erskine defenders crashing over, but it lands between the Bermuda Triangle of them. As the count moves to 1-1 with 1 away. But as I was saying, for Bailey, it's been close on a couple occasions for a home run. The 1-1 to Saunders catches the inner half, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But has come through in both occasions this morning against Erskine. 2-run single in the first, and then a 2-run single again here in the third. Saunders is patient and takes the 1-2 outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes as it evens up. And that most recent hit was a scorcher back up the middle. Next pitch to Saunders. Baltimore chop right in front of the pitcher's mound. The throw over to first is not in time and bounces away from the first baseman as Saunders is aboard with good speed. Bailey in the process on the throwing error advances over to third. As that brings up Grace Gregory, and there will be a pitching change for the Flying Fleet. Molly Ruzicka's day comes to a close with Grace Gregory coming up. And Erin Redmond will step into the circle as she gets warmed up. We'll take a quick break here on the Eagle Sports Network. It's 4-0 Carson-Newman, and they're threatening for more here in the top of the third inning on the Eagle Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
We welcome you back on the Eagle Sports Network to Hardeeville, South Carolina. Top of the third inning between Carson-Newman and Erskine. It is a 4-0 Carson-Newman lead as Aaron Redmond will step into the circle for the Flying Fleet, replacing Mallory Ruzicka. Goes 2 1/3 innings, giving up 4 runs. As the first pitch from Redmond to Gregory is a called strike. Advancing over to second goes Saunders. Puts both runners in scoring position now as Macaulay Bailey stands over at third base after a 2-run single. Doubled up the Carson-Newman lead to 4 as Gregory smacks the 0-1 foul down the third base line, 0-2. Redmond making her second appearance on the season. Went a third of an inning against Coker last week. Gave up 1 hit, which was a triple, but just faced 2 batters. Here comes the 0-2. Gregory nubs it off the end of her bat, and it bounces foul, first base side. So the count stays at 0-2, and she'll run back to home plate, settle back into the righty's batter's box. And you can see the intent trying to work it the other way, something that Carson-Newman has struggled with to start this season. Here comes the 0-2 from Redmond. That's down in the dirt. Good block behind home by Lewis. Count moves to 1-2. As home plate umpire will take a moment to brush off home plate. Carson-Newman in front 4-0 in the top of the third inning. 2 runners in scoring position. Saunders at second, Bailey at third. Grace Gregory in the righty's batter's box. The 1-2 from Redmond. And a hard hit ground ball foul down the left field line by Gregory. Keeps the count where it is. As I talked about for Gregory, a slow start to this season for her. Just getting back into the swing of things. Missed all of last season with an injury as the 1-2 from Redmond skips in about 3 feet in front of home plate. And it's 2-2. Here comes the 2-2. Fastball just misses a touch inside. Really painted by Redmond and a good frame by Lewis. But home plate umpire says not so fast. Gregory worked a walker last time up. Here comes a 3-2, checks her swing, and did not go around on the appeal down to the third base umpire. So she's aboard with her second walk of the day, as that one missed down and inside. Right to pop atop the shoes of the third baseman. And the bases are juiced for Emma Romika. A pitcher trying to break things wide open. The Eagles have scored a pair of runs in the first and here in the third, both off the bat of Macaulay Bailey. First offering to Romika is a rise ball that misses high upstairs. The 1-0 is low to Romika. 2 balls, no strikes. Just this third at-bat for Romika this season. Part of a 8-woman freshman class that has been so impressive for Graves and company to start this season. A 2-0. Catches the inner half, 2-1. It pops out of the glove of Lewis, but a strike all the same. Gregory at first, Saunders at second. Macaulay Bailey over at third. 2-1. And he's yanked outside to the righty. That's 3-1. Nowhere to put Romika with the bases loaded. A 4-0 Carson-Newman lead. The 3-1. Romika pops it up, and it bounces in front of second base. Rabin Fields flips to first. Retires Romika. Coming in to score comes Bailey. On the 4-3 ground out from Romika. Saunders and Gregory advancing another 60 feet as Romika picks up her first career RBI. Makes it 5-0 Carson-Newman in the top of the third. As Reese Winchester now digs into the righty's batter's box. She swings on the first pitch, pops it up, foul ground, third base side. Lewis dives, and she secures it. Great catch by the catcher, Hannah Lewis. Puts Winchester down and ends the top of the third inning, but Carson-Newman drags 3 more runs across. It is 5-0 Eagles as we head into the bottom of the third here on the Eagle Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
The lead has blossomed to 5 for Carson-Newman after 3 runs in the top of the third inning, highlighted by a 2-run hard-hit single off the bat of Macaulay Bailey. She's up to 4 RBIs through 2.5 innings in game 1 of the day for the Eagles. They'll take on the host, USC Beaufort, at around 1 p.m. today, depending on the end time of this game. It'll approximated 30 minutes after the conclusion of this contest between Carson-Newman and Erskine. As leading off for the Flying Fleet is Kara West. 7, 8, and 9 due up for Erskine here in the bottom of the third, facing Emma Romika. First pitch swing for West, rounds it left side, fielded by the third baseman Gregory. Throws on the run, and the stretch by Bailey is in time to retire West. A short-lived battle, 1 pitch, 1 out. In the bottom of the third. Brings up Gracie Merrill, left fielder. Just 22 pitches thrown for Romika so far. Has been letting her defense make plays behind her. First pitch is a strike right down the chute from Romika to Merrill, and it's 0-1. And when Coach Michael Graves was giving his pep talk on the bus, he was saying, right now we're ranked number 1 in pitching, number 1 in defense. It's just getting that offense going as the 0-1 sharply hit foul ball down the third base line by Merrill, and it's quickly 0-2. And that's coming with a lot of trust in these arms that Graves has. Lorelei Spradlin and Riley Sykes returners, but there's been a lot of freshmen. Atiana Stamper has made 3 starts. Romika pitching well here. The 0-2 just climbs up the ladder a little high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kalia Merritt has made a pair of appearances. Freshman out of West Virginia. Lacey Keck has pitched as well. As the 1-2 misses right on top of the shoes of the right-handed hitting Merrill. Evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 away. Keck did a good job with 4 innings of work against Davis and Elkins this past Monday. 2-2 by Merrill is lifted out into straightaway center. Martin races in and will make the grab for out number 2. Brings up the 9-hitter in Ava Rogers. And of course, Sarah Walker also has done a good job in the circle for Carson-Newman. But as I list all those out, just 2 of those are returners, as the first pitch from Romika notches the outer edge for a called strike 1. And then 5 freshman pitchers for Carson-Newman that is collectively as a team coming into today at a 1.79 ERA as Romika goes to the off speed and catches Rogers out in front of it. 0-1. Opponents batting .260 against the Eagles coming into this contest today. The 0-2 from Romika, high and outside to the left-handed hitting Rogers. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That was just the 30th pitch for Romika in this contest so far. The 1-2. Half swing by Rogers guides it foul down the left field line. Here comes the 1-2, and it's fouled off once more. Crashing into the fencing just to the left of home plate. The 1-2. And Romika just misses down away to the lefty. And Rogers, count evens up at 2-2. The 2-2, Rogers right off the end of her bat, pops it up into the fence behind home plate. Count stays where it is. For Rogers this season, batting .286. 2 for 7 on the season with an RBI. Went 0 for 1 yesterday against the Eagles. 2-2 from Romika is high, 3-2. And a beautiful at bat here from Rogers, trying to be the second base runner to get on for the Flying Fleet. Has continued to battle and battle and battle some more. 3-2, Romika misses high. And in that marathon long at bat, Rogers reaches on a walk, turning it back over to the top of the order for Erskine, beginning with Savannah Koster, excuse me. First pitch, grounds it straight back to Romika in the circle, flips it to first, and it's in time for out number 3 in the short-lived battle between Koster and Romika. Sends us to the 4th inning. It is a 5-0 Carson-Newman lead. Top of the order to get things going with Malia Smith when we come back on the Eagle Sports Network.
Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
In 2025, we celebrate 130 years of Carson-Newman athletics. Over the years, the teams at Carson-Newman have been known for their toughness and Christian spirit. Through the decades, teams and individuals playing at the highest levels have brought recognition for this little school on the banks of Mousy Creek. While we remember the past, we look towards the future. So join the Eagle Club today as we continue to support our athletes and coaches through funding and facilities. Talents up.
Join the Eagle Club today. Visit seeaneagles.com/Eagle Club.
Top of the fourth inning from the Richard Gray Sports Complex. Matt Scalzo with you on the Eagle Sports Network. Malia Smith leads things off. Top of the Carson-Newman order, Smith, Mathena, and Martin. Due up for the Eagles. First pitch to Smith is a called strike on the outer half to the lefty. Aaron Redmond working into her first full inning. Came in relief in the top of the third when the Eagles plated 3 runs. The 0-1 down away outside, 1-1. Smith has done a good job so far today. 0 for 1, reached on a walk. The 1-1 showed bunt, pulls back as it buzzes the tower of Smith. She leans out of the way, 2-1. Corners are in, and Crouch and Burrows, they're slowly creeping closer and closer towards home plate as the 2-1 misses outside to the left-handed hitting Malia Smith. Freshman out of Knoxville, Tennessee, has been so dynamic for Michael Graves. Says she is on pace, and from what he's seen, will go down as possibly the best shortstop that Carson-Newman has ever seen, as the 3-1 misses high and outside, and it's a 5-pitch walk to get things going in the top of the fourth. The second time that Smith has reached base via the walk today. It's high praise for the freshman, but she has done so good defensively and has been an on-base machine in that leadoff spot. Coming into today, she was second on the team in terms of RBIs with 5. She's going on the first pitch to Mathena. That is a called strike. The throwdown from Lewis is off the mark. Smith is in there head first with a stolen base. Another stolen base for Malia Smith this season. That is her 4th. Has yet to be caught stealing, as has any of the Eagles this season. The 0-1 to Mathena. Dips low and skitters along the dirt, 1-1. Eagles are coming into today 12 for 12 on stolen bases. They've added on to that total today. With now 4 stolen bases, on the contest. The 1-1. Athena pops it up foul down the first base side. And it is 1-2. Athena digs back into the righty's batter's box. Pitch comes in, moves inside against the righty, stands in there tall, takes it for a ball. Count evens up at 2-2. Malia Smith over at second with nobody out in the top of the fourth. A 5-0 Carson-Newman lead. The break even to Mathena, drops to a knee and lifts it foul straight back behind home plate. Count stays where it is. Nobody out in the top of the fourth. Another 2-2, and this dips low. Running across the laces of Mathena's cleats in the righty's batter's box. It's a full count. Abby Martin is standing on deck for Carson-Newman. Center fielder is 1 for 1 today with 2 runs scored. 3-2, Mathena chops it foul right off of her left ankle, the inside of it. Steps out to regather herself. Stomping her left foot into the dirt. Squares up the bat and settles back into the righty's batter's box, resting the bat on her shoulder. Here comes a 3-2. Mathena ground ball off the chest of Redmond, picks it up, backhand flip to first is in time. As Smith advances another 60 feet over to third as Mathena's retired on the 1-3 putout. Some PFP action for Aaron Redmond. As here comes Abby Martin with 1 away in the top of the fourth. Looking to add on to her team leading 8 RBIs. With Malia Smith 60 feet away. First pitch, Martin drives it in the air, straightaway center. Catch is made by West, tagging and scoring comes Malia Smith. And Abby Martin wastes no time doing her job and driving in another run to make it 6-0 Carson-Newman in the top of the fourth inning as Sarah Walker comes back into this righty batter's box. She was pinch ran for by Shelby Armstrong the last time she got up, and so when Armstrong re-entered in right field, Walker also re-entered back into the cleanup spot as the designated player for Carson-Newman. First pitch, Walker hits a slow roller, scooped off the dirt by Rabin, fires to first, and that will do it in the top half of the fourth. Carson-Newman tacks on another run on the sac fly from Abby Martin. Leaves nobody left on base as we head into the bottom of the fourth. Hannah Lewis and 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Flying Fleet when we come back on the Eagle Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long. From the morning with their $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your home more comfortable and affordable? Maybe with a new electric heat pump or new attic insulation? And don't forget new doors and windows. AEC is here to help. We have a quality contractor network, easy financing, and incentives for home upgrades. Plus, AEC carefully inspects every job to ensure the highest quality satisfaction. Visit our website at aeccoop.org for applications, contractor lists, and more details. AEC, power what matters most.
2, 3, and 4 due up for Erskine in the bottom of the fourth inning as Emma Romika heads back out to the circle. Her offense gives her another run on the sac fly from Abby Martin. Gives her 9th RBI of the season, had 19 total last season. He's nearing the halfway mark of that through 6, about to be 7 games this season. As the first pitch from Romika is fouled off down the first base side by Lewis, 0-1. Center fielder out of Gadsden, Alabama, was named a SAC player to watch this season, and Michael Graves felt it was very well deserved. Someone that has flown under the radar with her incredible defensive ability, so much range out in center field. And she was feeling very confident defensively coming into this season. A lot of pieces back in the outfield, and felt there was a lot of speed out there, giving them good range of coverage as Lewis grounds the 0-1 through the left side of the infield, outside the outstretched arms of Grace Gregory, and it's a leadoff base hit for Hannah Lewis. Brings up Gabby Burrows. Second time through the order for Romika. That is just the second hit surrendered by the freshman right-handed pitcher. First pitch to Burrows. Fouls it away, digging out the low first pitch offering, and that's 0-1. That is pitch number 40 on the morning, now afternoon, for Emma Romika. As during the half inning, hit noon Eastern time, and sends us into this afternoon on this fine Saturday. The 0-1, Burrows pops it up, towering pop-up that will go behind the fence of home plate and lands in the patch of grass just past the fence. I'd say probably about 10 yards to the right of me. So the count moves to 0-2 on Burrows. Romika delivers, and Burrows slaps an 0-2 foul down the third base line, just out in front of the off speed from Romika. Game 1 of 3 on this Saturday slate at the Low Country Classic on day 2. The 0-2 from Romika. Burrows on the ground, gloved by Smith, flips to second for 1, fires to first by Winchester. It is off the mark as Bailey has to come off the bag, and Burrows is aboard on a fielder's choice. Nearly a chance for Carson-Newman to roll up a double play. Here comes first pitch. That is a hard hit scorcher by Crouch that clips off the glove of Smith, trying to pick it on the backhand, and it goes into left field. That'll be a base hit for Kennedy Crouch, moving Burrows up to second base. Pinch runner coming in for Crouch, as Summer Nelson is re-entered into the game after she was pinch ran for her last time up. And pinch runner is Anslia Aaron, the freshman out of Sandy Run, South Carolina. A little bit of a delay as everything gets sorted out. And there'll also be a pinch runner going in for Gabby Burrows. And for Burrows over at second base, it is Emily Brown that came out of the third base side dugout. So 2 pinch runners on for the Flying Fleet. It is Brown at second, Aaron at first, and Summer Nelson comes in to bat. righty on righty against Romika. First real pressure that Erskine has created. First pitch, Nelson lifts it in the air, left field. Saunders moves over towards the line and will make the grab. And nowhere to go for any of the pinch runners as Romika gets exactly what she wanted. Ball in the air lets her defense make plays, and there's nowhere to go for any of the people on base as Emily Rabin digs into the righty's batter's box. First pitch is high and outside, gets snagged by Mathena behind the dish. One and 0 with 2 away, 2 runners on, and a 6-0 Carson-Newman lead. And the bottom half of the 4th inning. The next offering from Romika is an off speed that dips low, 2-0. Here comes the 2-0. Rabin in the air, and this drops into left field for a base hit. Gloved by Saunders, fires home towards Mathena. Sliding in safely is Brown, and she gets in on the base hit from Riley Rabin to make it 6-1. As there will be another pinch runner for Aline Hawkins and this Erskine lineup, replacing Rabin over at second base. And that spot goes Avery Dreckman, freshman out of Greenville, South Carolina. As Kara West digs in, runners on second and third, and Dreckman and Aaron, a 6-1 Carson-Newman lead. First pitch swinging, grounded towards the left side. Smith fields it short, fires to first, and it's in time for out number 3. And the Flying Fleet bring 1 run in on the RBI single by Riley Rabin. They don't get any more, leave 2 in scoring position as Romika gets out of the jam. As we head into the 5th inning, it is a 6-1 Carson-Newman lead here to open up Day 2 of the Low Country Classic. Back with more on the other side of this break on the Eagle Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long. From the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your home more comfortable and affordable? Maybe with a new electric heat pump or new attic insulation? And don't forget new doors and windows. AEC is here to help. We have a quality contractor network, easy financing, and incentives for home upgrades. Plus, AEC carefully inspects every job to ensure the highest quality satisfaction. Visit our website at aeccoop.org for applications, contractor lists, and more details. AEC, power what matters most.
Erskine scores its first run against Carson-Newman today and across the Low Country Classic as well with an RBI single from Riley Rabin in the bottom of the 4th inning. It turns back over to the top of the 5th inning. Still a 6-1 Carson-Newman lead as all the pinch runners for Erskine have been replaced by who was in those spots initially. Kennedy Crouch re-enters at first base, as does Rabin at second, and Gabby Burrows slots back in at third as Macaulay Bailey leads things off in the top of the 5th inning. Bailey 2 for 2, couple of base hits, 4 RBIs for the senior out of Cross Plains, Tennessee. Came in with 1 RBI and has erupted today, scoring in big spots. First pitch swing, hard hit, ground ball, fielded on the backhand by Burrows, and a strong throw across the diamond. Retires Bailey in a short-lived battle. 1 pitch, 1 out. Brings up Addie Saunders, 5, 6, and 7, due up for the Eagles in this 5th inning. 6 runs on 5 hits with no errors. Eagles have left 4 on base so far today. Saunders takes the first pitch, and it misses down and away to lefty, 1-0. Saunders 1 for 2 today. Has a stolen base as well. Here comes the 1-0 from Redmond. Foul tip by Saunders. Works the count to 1-1. The 1-1. Saunders shoots it foul, third base side, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Redmond, who came in relief for Ruzicka, has done a solid job in the circle. 35 pitches thrown for her. The 1-2, Saunders, line drive, back up the middle, and it is snared by Rabin over at second base for out number 2. The Flying Fleet looking for its first 1-2-3 inning in this contest. Carson-Newman has put a runner on in all 4 innings prior, and they've scored in 3 of those 4 innings. As Grace Gregory steps in, first pitch bounces in front of home plate from Redmond. 1-0 to the third baseman, who has reached base both times today via the walk. The 1-0 skips in once more from Redmond. 2 balls, no strikes to Gregory. As I said, the transfer from North Alabama missed all of last season with a knee injury. Has gotten back to full strength and is trying to turn a corner early in this 2026 season. 2-0, grounds it foul, third base side, 2 balls and a strike. Hit a frozen rope into the left center field gap. One hopped into the wall yesterday for an RBI double against Erskine. Two-one towards Gregory. Low in the dirt once more. 3 balls and a strike. If this inning continues, standing on deck in place of Emma Romika is Lacey Keck. Another one of the 8 freshmen for this 2026 team. 3-1 towards Gregory. Gets underneath it, delivers a deep fly ball, left field, way back there, and it is off the base of the wall. Merrill was going back, and she was looking up. Look for a moment like Gregory was going to have a second long ball this season for Carson-Newman. Instead, it is maybe a foot short as it crashes right into the base of the wall, and she is aboard with a stand-up 2-out double. As Lacey Keck comes in in the place of Emma Romika. We'll see if that also insinuates a pitching change upcoming for Carson-Newman, as there is also a pinch runner for Grace Gregory. It will be Bailey Worley going into that spot at second base. Senior catcher out of Black Mountain, North Carolina, was used as a pinch runner yesterday. As Keck steps into the lefty's batter's box, facing the righty in Redmond. First pitch to Keck is a ball outside, 1-0. As here comes Lean Hawkins now out of the third base dugout. We'll chat with Redmond and the catcher Hannah Lewis. So as they're talking things over, Worley will trot over to third base, talk with head coach Michael Graves. Lacey Keck will use this time to her advantage. Heads down to first base side, talking with graduate assistant Hayden Dye and Reese Winchester, who stands on deck. Dye, a All-American, All-SAC shortstop for Carson-Newman last season. And has really enjoyed being a GA. Roommate with Abby Martin on the road. As Keck climbs back in and the abbreviated timeout is over. A 1-0 from Redmond is a fastball that burns the outside edge for a called strike, and it's 1-1. Talking with head coach Michael Graves and pitching coach Holly Tucker-Vance, they both agree Lacey Keck's got the prettiest swing on the team. We'll see what the freshman has in the store. A 1-1 from Redmond. Down away outside, 2-1. A snap throw back to second by Lewis. Sees Worley dive back in safely on a tag applied by Rabin. Head first dive from Worley. 2-1 with 2 away. It's a 6-1 Carson-Newman lead in the top of the 5th. 2-1 to Lacey Keck is a called strike right at the knees. 2-2. Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long. From the morning with their $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your home more comfortable and affordable? Maybe with a new electric heat pump or new attic insulation? And don't forget new doors and windows. AEC is here to help. We have a quality contractor network, easy financing, and incentives for home upgrades. Plus, AEC carefully inspects every job to ensure the highest quality satisfaction. Visit our website at aeccoop.org for applications, contractor lists, and more details. AEC, power what matters most.
Lacey Keck will come into the circle for Carson-Newman in the bottom half of the 5th inning on day 2 of the Low Country Classic in Hardeeville, South Carolina. It is a 6-1 lead for Carson-Newman over Erskine in game 1 of the day. Matt Scalzo with you on the Eagle Sports Network. Keck was a pinch hitter for Emma Romika in the away half of the 5th, and now checks in to the circle, making her second appearance pitching-wise this season. The lefty out of Knoxville, Tennessee, got the win against Davis and Elkins back on Monday in the 3rd game of the season. As the first pitch to Gracie Merrill from Keck is a strikeout on the outer half. Grace Gregory has returned to third base as the 0-1 comes in. Merrill hard hit, line drive into right center field for a leadoff base hit. And so the leadoff hitter is aboard. Brings up Ava Rogers. 8-9-1 due up for Erskine, but after that leadoff base hit, Hannah Lewis, if everything goes according to plan, should get an at-bat for the Flying Fleet. First pitch from Keck and showing bunt, pulling back is Rogers for ball 1. The 1-0 from Keck. Wave and a miss by Rogers. 1-1 with Merrill over at second base, or rather they've got it at 0-2. My apologies. As here comes Keck on the 0-2 delivery. Runner going, misses high. Throw down from Mathena is off the mark. It was out of reach for the outstretched arm of Malia Smith, and then it kicked off the leg of a sliding Merrill into center field. Good backup by Abby Martin. Holds Merrill over at second base. I was correct. It is a 2-1 count, and now it is 3-1. Got to trust myself a little bit more. That's at least what Adam Cavalier would tell me. And all my times in summer baseball and time at Penn State for my undergrad degree calling baseball games there, you learn never trust the scoreboard fully. You don't trust it all the way as the 3-1 comes in low from Keck. And the first two have reached for Erskine in this bottom half of the fifth inning. It turns back over to the top of this Erskine order. Savannah Coster steps in with Rogers at first and Merrill at second. Bunt laid down, ball in the dirt as the runner was going in Merrill. And it is in there and she's in there safely as the first pitch is a strike to Coster. Both runners advance. As the next offering on the 0-1. The 1-2. Coster in the air, shoots it to left field. It is down for a base hit. In to score comes Merrill. Right on her heels is Rogers. And it is a double that scores 2 runs from Savannah Coster. Cuts the lead in half. It is 6-3 Carson-Newman. And the bottom half of the fifth inning, and Michael Graves will make a walk out of the first base side dugout. We'll see what's going on here as Hannah Lewis comes up to bat. 6-3 ball game now, as there will be a pitching change. It'll be Kalia Merritt coming in place of Lacey Keck. And so Keck's day comes to a close. Faces 3 batters. They all reach base. And now Kalia Merritt will make her 3rd appearance of the season. The freshman out of Wayne, West Virginia. Will let her get warmed up. We'll meet you on the other side of this break on the Eagle Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long. From the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your home more comfortable and affordable? Maybe with a new electric heat pump or new attic insulation? And don't forget new doors and windows. AEC is here to help. We have a quality contractor network, easy financing, and incentives for home upgrades. Plus, AEC carefully inspects every job to ensure the highest quality satisfaction. Visit our website at aeccoop.org for applications, contractor lists, and more details. AEC, power what matters most.
Kalia Merritt will be making her 3rd appearance of the season in the circle for Carson-Newman. Has gone 1 1/3 innings so far. and has a strikeout. Pitched yesterday against Beaufort in the 3-1 loss for Carson-Newman, their first of the season. Got the final out that Carson-Newman needed in that contest, and also pitched an inning against Converse. And she'll face 2, 3, and 4 with a runner on second in Savannah Coster in a 6-3 Carson-Newman lead over Erskine. First pitch to Hannah Lewis is a ball low, 1-0. Merritt, a righty pitcher. The 1-0 to the righty and Lewis. Skips in the dirt, 2 balls, no strikes. Erskine has scored the last 3 runs after Carson-Newman jumped out in front to a 6-0 lead. 1 run in the 4th, and now 2 here so far in the 5th with nobody away. 2-0. Off the mark from Merritt outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Savannah Coster over at second after her 2-run double. Chased Lacey Keck from the game. .3-0. Called strike on the outer half. Merritt climbs back into the count. Kalia's family made the trip down. Met the team for dinner on Friday night. Here comes 3-1, and it is high and outside. A 5-pitch walk. Puts Lewis over at first base, and now the tying run comes to the plate in Gabby Burrows. Burrows, the All-Conference Carolinas player and All-Region last season, comes in a huge spot. First pitch swing, hits it on the ground to short. Smith Fields goes to third for 1, and Gregory will check around and has no throw anywhere else. Carson-Newman gets the lead runner out. As Kennedy Crouch comes up, Burrows over at first base and Lewis at second. Merritt looking and getting her sign from the dugout on the first base side. Comes home on the first pitch to Crouch, the lefty, with a foul tip that goes straight back to the fence behind home plate, and it's 0-1. One away is now Crouch represents the tying run. There comes the 0-1 from Merritt. Bounces in front of home plate. Blocked by Mathena. Runner going and Lewis, and now she's caught in a rundown. Gregory to Winchester. Back to Gregory. And Gregory will tag her out on the base paths for a huge second out. A strong block from Katie Mathena catches Hannah Lewis stealing on a 2-5-4-5 putout. As the 1-1 into Crouch misses down and inside against the left-handed hitting first baseman, and it's 2-1. The 2-1. Crouch hard hit ground ball that skitters down the first base line foul. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So now the tying run is wiped away as Coster is caught stealing. And with 2 away, Merritt looks to shut the door and keep this at a 3-run ball game. The 2-2, and Coster just catches a piece of it on the off speed from Merritt. Keeps the count at 2-2. And the break even from Merritt. Low, just a couple of balls beneath the knees of Crouch. Count runs full with 2 away. Corners pinching in, the 3-2 to Crouch. High and inside, ball 4. And Burrows advances over to second. So now the tying run comes back up to the plate after the long at-bat and full count walk worked by Kennedy Crouch. And in this high leverage situation, the entire infield will come in for Carson-Newman. Chatting with Kalia Merritt, keeping things loose. As Summer Nelson and Riley Rabin talk with Aline Hawkins down the third base side. Hawkins in her 26th season at the helm of the Flying Fleet. 46th season overall as a coach. Has had previous stops at Furman and University of Georgia. Was pulled back into coaching as she had the intent of being a stay-at-home mom, and then Erskine called, and it's just a short 20-minute drive. She's like, yeah, I'll get back into it. She's been there ever since. Year number 26 for Hawkins as Nelson takes the first pitch, ball high and outside, 1-0. Right down the chute from Merritt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nelson in a big spot here for Erskine. Came into today batting an even 200 on the season. 1-1. Nelson pulls it, and it is just foul down the third base line. Burrows got a good jump over at second base. As now the count moves to 1-2, and Merritt sits 1 strike away from getting out of the jam. Nelson is 0 for 1 so far. 1-2. Called strike 3. Nelson down looking. And Merritt gets a huge strikeout to shut the door. Leaves 2 runners on in the bottom of the 5th inning. But Erskine scores 2 runs on 2 hits, leaves 2 runners left on as we head into the 6th inning. From the Low Country Classic, back with more on the Eagle Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
In 2025, we celebrate 130 years of Carson-Newman athletics. Over the years, the teams at Carson-Newman have been known for their toughness and Christian spirit. Through the decades, teams and individuals playing at the highest levels have brought recognition for this little school on the banks of Mossy Creek. While we remember the past, we look towards the future. So join the Eagle Club today as we continue to support our athletes and coaches through funding and facilities. Talons up.
Join the Eagle Club today. Visit cneagles.com/Eagle Club.
9-1-2 do it for Carson-Newman in the top half of the 6th inning. 2 runs from Erskine on a 2-run double from Ava Rogers has cut the Carson-Newman lead in half. The Flying Fleet have plated the last 3 runs. And this opening contest on day 2 of the Low Country Classic in Hardyville, South Carolina, hosted by USC Beaufort. Beaufort will take on Carson-Newman in the next game, which will begin about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this contest. And then Carson-Newman will begin its 6-hour journey back to Jefferson City, Tennessee, as Winchester takes a first pitch strike from Aaron Redmond, who has been calm, cool, collected, and has done a good job out in the circle for Erskine since coming in relief for Mallory Ruzicka. 6-3 the score here in the top of the 6th inning. The 0-1 to Winchester, misses low, 1 ball, 1 strike. To the 9-hitter and second baseman for Carson-Newman. The 1-2, Winchester grounds it foul. Down the left field line, 1 ball, 2 strikes now. The next pitch will be the 50th for Redmond today. Carson-Newman trying to bounce back, get 2 wins today. Split yesterday, got an 8-0 run rule win over Erskine in the opening game of the Low Country Classic as the 1-2 to Winchester bounces in the dirt. Skips to the backstop, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Before dropping their first of the season to the hosted Winchester, trying to set the table here as lines it into the right center field gap. Around third, coming to score comes Winchester. Abby RBI today, and has had 2 RBIs in 5 of these first 7 games for Carson-Newman. Had 4 in a row up until the Beaufort contest yesterday. As the first pitch to Sarah Walker skitters along the dirt. Martin tries to advance over to third, and she is caught stealing. Tagged out by Burrows, and brings the top of the 6th to a close. But she is able to drive in another run on the 2-out double. Brought in Winchester at 7-3 Carson-Newman as we head into the bottom of the 6th here on the Eagles Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
In 2025, we celebrate 130 years of Carson-Newman athletics. Over the years, the teams at Carson-Newman have been known for their toughness and Christian spirit. Through the decades, teams and individuals playing at the highest levels have brought recognition for this little school on the banks of Mossy Creek. While we remember the past, we look towards the future. So join the Eagle Club today as we continue to support our athletes and coaches through funding and facilities. Talons up.
Join the Eagle Club today. Visit seeaneagles.com/Eagle Club.
Bottom 6 coming up here on the Eagles Sports Network. Matt Scalzo with you. Day 2 of the Low Country Classic. It is now 7-3 Carson-Newman over Erskine after a 2-out double from Abby Martin that drives in Reese Winchester. Pushes the lead back up to 4 for Carson-Newman. Erskine had plated the last 3 runs, cut the lead in half. That was 1-6-0 to start this contest for Carson-Newman, with 2 in the first, 3 in the third, and another in the fourth. As Kalia Merritt settles into her first full inning of work. Came in relief. I should rather say first clean inning of work. Nobody on. She came in relief of Lacey Keck, had to get the next 3 outs in the bottom half of the 5th. Then she delivers a first pitch strike to Riley Rabin, and it's 0-1. Merritt comes home on the 0-1. And it's outside 1-1 to Rabin. The 1-2 from, or the 1-1 from Merritt is a wave and a miss from Rabin, and now it moves to 1-2. Rabin is 1 for 2 with an RBI today, batting leadoff in this bottom of the 6th. takes the 1-2 in the dirt. Low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the bottom of the 6th inning. Carson-Newman trying to get back in the win column after dropping the 2nd game yesterday to Beaufort. 2-2 from Merritt, misses inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rabin has worked the count full. When these two faced off yesterday, it was an 8-0 run rule in 5 innings for Carson-Newman. Here comes the 3-2 for Merritt. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Rabin down looking, and that's back-to-back backwards Ks for Kalia Merritt. Puts one away in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kara West now steps in. First pitch is a strike on the inner half to West. Count at 0-1. The 0-1. West on the ground, left side of the infield. Scooped up by Smith at short. Low throw to first, but it is scooped up off the dirt by Macaulay Bailey for out number 2. And a short-lived battle, just 2 pitches for out number 2. As Kalia Merritt looks for a 1-2-3 shutdown inning in the bottom of the 6th. Trying to get through Gracie Merrill. First pitch to Merrill. Low beneath her knees, 1-0. Merrill standing in the righty's batter's box, 1 for 2 today, has a run scored. Has also stolen a couple of bases. The 1-0. Down and inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Here comes the 2-0. Gets in the zone and puts Merritt back in the count. 2 balls and a strike. Dropping in right at the bottom part of the zone. Merrill, ground ball, left side. Smith fields at short, fires to first, and it's in time to put Erskine down in order 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Merritt with a shutdown inning turns things over to Sarah Walker as 4, 5, and 6 are due up for Carson-Newman in the top of the 7th when we come back on the Eagle Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long, from the morning with their $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your home more comfortable and affordable? Maybe with a new electric heat pump or new attic insulation? And don't forget new doors and windows. AEC is here to help. We have a quality contractor network, easy financing, and incentives for home upgrades. Plus, AEC carefully inspects every job to ensure the highest quality satisfaction. Visit our website at aeccoop.org for applications, contractor lists, and more details. AEC, power what matters most.
Back at the Low Country Classic, Day 2. Carson-Newman in Game 3 of their weekend, up 7-3 over Erskine as we come into the final frame, the 7th inning. Sarah Walker leads things off. She was up to bat when the top of the 6th came to a close. Abby Martin was caught stealing. As it is 4, 5, and 6 in the Carson-Newman order. Walker, Bailey, and Saunders due to come up against Aaron Redmond for Erskine. First pitch swing for Walker. Hits a sharp ground ball that's scooped up by Burrows over at third. Snaps it across the diamond. And it's one pitch and one gone. And the top of the 7th on the 5-3 putout brings up Macaulay Bailey, whose bat has come alive today. Bailey had just one RBI coming into the contest today. She's 2 for 3, and she's got 4 of them. Pair of 2-run singles to start her morning. Kickstart the Carson-Newman offense. She takes the first pitch ball down and in, 1-0. The other 2 RBIs have come from, or the other 3, I should say. The other 2 have come, or 2 of them have come from Abby Martin. She's 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. And then the other, a sac fly from Emma Romika, who got the start in the circle for Carson-Newman. Bailey chops the 1-0 foul right off of home plate. And it's 1-1. Bailey digs back into the righty's batter's box with an open stance. 1-1 off speed, loops high and outside. 2 balls and a strike. And this battle between Redmond and Macaulay Bailey. Carson-Newman will need 3 more outs in the bottom of the 7th to get to 6-1 on the season and sweep Erskine this weekend at the Low Country Classic. 2-1, Bailey bouncing ball, caroms off the glove of Rogers at short. And Bailey will be aboard on an E6. Third error of the contest for the Flying Fleet. Brings up Addie Saunders. Might have a pinch runner coming in this scenario in place of Macaulay Bailey. And that is likely what it will be, as Bailey's starting to walk towards the first base dugout. Takes the step in. Who will enter stage right, take her spot over at first base. And it is pitcher Lorelei Spradlin. That will be coming in as the pinch runner for Macaulay Bailey. Spradlin expected to get the ball in Game 2 today against the Sand Sharks. First pitch to Saunders. This is outside, 1-0. Addie Saunders, the lefty, comes into the lefty's batter's box and takes the 1-0 low, 2-0. Saunders 1 for 3. Has been an on-base machine so far to start this season. Came into today as the second best hitter on the team, batting .429. Here she works the 2-0 the other way and fouls it away down the third base line. 2 balls and a strike. Saunders came into today leading the team in on-base percentage at .529. 6 for 14 at the dish and has worked 3 walks so far this season. Second on the team behind Reese Winchester. Here comes the 2-1. This is down away outside. 3-1 to Saunders with Spradlin over at first. After Macaulay Bailey reached base on an error. .3-1 is a strike on the outer half that catches the corner by Redmond. Saunders was taken all the way. Count runs full with 1 gone. A 7-3 Carson-Newman lead in the top of the 7th. Payoff pitch from Redmond. Skips in the dirt, and it's a 1-out walk. And a long battle from Saunders. She is rewarded with another walk on the season. Spradlin moves up another 60 feet into scoring position over at second. Brings Grace Gregory to the plate. Aline Hawkins comes out of the third base dugout and might have a change upcoming in the circle. So Michael Graves will bring his entire team over to, or at least the base runners and the hitter and Gregory up the third base line. Hayden Dye will strut over from first, and there is a pitching change coming in for Erskine. It is Allie Meeker that will be checking in for the Flying Fleet, and we will take a quick break on Eagle Sports Network. Back with more on the other side of this break.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long, from the morning with their $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your home more comfortable and affordable? Maybe with a new electric heat pump or new attic insulation? And don't forget new doors and windows. AEC is here to help. We have a quality contractor network, easy financing, and incentives for home upgrades. Plus, AEC carefully inspects every job to ensure the highest quality satisfaction. Visit our website at aeccoop.org for applications, contractor lists, and more details. AEC, power what matters most.
Back on the Eagle Sports Network. A little bit of a technical error. Stats have gone down for a moment. Working on getting that fixed as Grace Gregory digs in against Allie Meeker. With Addie Saunders over at first. Spradlin, who has been replaced now by Macaulay Bailey. Gregory, hard hit, ground ball, third base side, and it is off the glove of Rogers. Couldn't corral it. And Gregory will reach base via an E6. Brings up Kalia Merritt, who is the pitcher for Carson-Newman, and she will be replaced by a pinch hitter in Anne-Marie Richards. So a whole lot of moving parts going on here. Richards, one of the top hitters and primary catcher, got the first game off, swings on the first pitch, hits it to short. Rogers Fields goes home, and Bailey is out by a couple of steps. As Rogers avenges her miscues from earlier, gets the lead runner out, and gets the second out in the inning as Richards is retired. Brings up Reese Winchester. Or excuse me, Richards is over at first base. Bailey is retired on the fielder's choice as the first pitch to Winchester misses low. Bases still loaded for Carson-Newman. And it's Richards at first, Gregory at second, and Saunders over at third. The 1-0 comes in, and it's a called strike, 1-1. Winchester, an open stance in the righty's batter's box, the 1-1 home. Chopper foul, third base side. 1-2. Whole lot of moving parts here for Carson-Newman in the away half of the 7th. 1-2 count with 2 away, bases loaded. Winchester trying to add on to this 7-3 lead. 1-2, and she pulls it foul, third base side. Busy day of athletics for Carson-Newman. 2 games today here with softball. Back home in Jefferson City. It's a doubleheader inside Holt Fieldhouse. Women's basketball and men's basketball taking on Wingate. The women's game should have just started, so you're looking for something to watch in between games here in the Low Country Classic. That's always a good option. 1-2, Winchester fouls it away down the first base side. The count stays where it is. Women's basketball trying to bounce back, have dropped 3 straight games. Can catch that game on the in the booth cam with Andrew Rogers. Also find it on Flow Sports. And then the men's game beginning about 25 minutes after the conclusion of that one. Carson-Newman men's basketball coming off a 3-game road trip that they've won 2 out of 3, beating UVA Wise and Lincoln Memorial, 2 big wins. Got their first win in Harrogate in over a decade as the 1-2 to Winchester misses upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trying to climb back into the top 8 in the region and get back into the NCAA tournament for the 2nd consecutive year. And then rounding things out, the baseball team is up at Lincoln Memorial. Doubleheader today. Winchester takes the 2-2 that misses high and appeal down to third. She did not go around. And Winchester's battled all the way back, works the count full. Against Allie Meeker, the senior right-handed pitchers coming in relief. First batter she has faced, or excuse me, second batter she's faced rather, as this one misses upstairs, and Winchester works another walk, brings in another run as ducks on the pond go around. As Malia Smith comes up, and it's the top of the Carson-Newman order. First pitch to Smith, skips in the dirt, 1-0. So it is now an 8-3 Carson-Newman lead. They've scored the last 2 runs, one in the 6th, one here in the 7th. Smith looking to add on. She's been the top hitter for this Carson-Newman order, batting in the leadoff spot. Also has been producing some RBIs as well. The 1-0, Smith pops it up, and it will land in foul ground out of reach for Gracie Merrill, charging over from left, and Ava Rogers from short. They converged, but neither could get there in time. The count evens up at 1-1 with 2 away. Winchester at first, Richards at second, and Gregory at third. Malia Smith in the lefty's batter's box. Meeker comes set, the righty delivers, and Smith clips one foul once more down the third base line and out of play. As the count now moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. First appearance of the season for Allie Meeker. The 1-2 to Smith. Slaps one to third. Burrows fields on a couple of hops, snaps it to first, and it's in time to end the inning. Carson-Newman adds another on the RBI walk from Reese Winchester. They leave 3 on the base, aided by 2 errors. As now they'll look to get the final 3 outs. It'll be Riley Sykes coming out of the dugout for Carson-Newman, trying to shut things down and get the win to get back in the win column and improve to 6-1 on the season. see what they can do when we come back on the other side of this break on the Eagles Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Light is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilight.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Hardyville, South Carolina. Bottom of the 7th inning, Riley Sykes comes into the circle for Carson-Newman. Eagles up 8-3. Facing 9-1-2 due up for Erskine. First pitch from Sykes is a strike right down the gut to Rogers. And it's 0-1. Ava Rogers on a 2-run double or last time up. As the 0-1 misses high, 1-1, also a touch inside as well. And I came back in the 5th inning when the Flying Fleet brought in 2 runs. Here's the 1-1 from Sykes. Back towards Sykes on a chopper. Leaps to make the play and tosses to first for out number 1. Sykes into the action already and making another appearance. This is her 4th this season. All have come out of the bullpen. Got the win to start the season against Glenville State. Had 1 shutout inning against Erskine yesterday, and then also pitched against Beaufort. Got the loss, going 1 1/3 innings, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits. First pitch, sharply hit ground ball by Coster. Smith fields it, loses it on the exchange, and Coster is aboard. On what is the first error of the season for Carson-Newman. First pitch comes in, and it's 1-0 to Hannah Lewis. The 1-0. Outside 2-0. And it's a called strike. It's a Hannah Lewis, 2-1. Went around on a check swing. 2 balls and a strike with 1 away. Coster over at first. The 2-1 is outside. 3 balls and a strike. 8-3, Carson-Newman with the lead. Looking for another 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. And the 3-1. This is low. It's a 5-pitch walk to Lewis. Moves Coster into scoring position. And here comes Gabby Burrows. Flying Fleet trying to see if they got any magic here in the bottom of the 7th inning as the Suns come back out. We had some cloud coverage the last couple innings. But shining brightly, descending down upon the Richard Gray Sports Complex. First pitch from Sykes misses just beneath the knees of Burrows, 1-0.
Let's go, Gab. Come on, Gabby.
Here comes the 1-0. Burrows, hard hit, line drive, left field. Saunders goes back, and it's off the wall. Coming in to score is Coster. The throw to third is not in time. Gabby Burrows, an RBI double, makes it an 8-4 game, and that was smoked off the bat of Burrows. Thought for a moment when it was in the air it was going to leave the yard, but it did not. Hannah Lewis goes over to third. As Aline Hawkins comes out of the first base side dugout, and there will be a pinch runner coming in for Burrows. It'll be Maddie Hinson that comes in place of her. And so Kennedy Crouch steps in. First pitch from Sykes is a strike right down the chute, 0-1. 8-4 the lead now for Carson-Newman. Lewis at third and Hinson at second. This one lifted in the air out towards left field. Catch is made by Saunders off the bat of Crouch. Snaps the throw quickly back into the infield, and Lewis has nowhere to go. And the runners stay where they are as Erskine is down to its last out, and it's Summer Nelson coming up. Righty on righty against Sykes. And it's 1:15 local time now, and second game of the day between Carson-Newman and Beaufort will begin in about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this contest as Nelson takes the first pitch strike, 0-1. Sykes does a good job at getting out in front of hitters in terms of the count. The 0-1. Off the mark, 1-1. Sykes looks over to Holly Tucker-Vance. Gets her sign. Comes set at the belt. And the 1-1. Nelson jammed inside, lifts it down the left field line. Saunders ranges over, and she will make the grab for out number 3. And Carson-Newman gets back in the win column with an 8-4 win over Erskine to open up day 2 of the Low Country Classic. Emma Romika will get the win in her first career start as the Eagles sweep Erskine this weekend at the Low Country Classic. Game 2 of the day coming up in approximately 30 minutes time. 1:16 is when this contest came to a close. About 2 hours and 18 minutes is how long that contest took between the Flying Fleet and the Eagles. And so you come back on YouTube at around 1:46, 1:50 time period. It's when we'll have game 2 coming up for you as the Eagles look to bounce back and avenge its loss to the Sand Sharks from yesterday. They fell 3-1 at the hands of the Sand Sharks. So it should be a good contest between these two teams. Strong attendance on display with the Erskine faithful traveling well, along with the conglomerate of Eagles fans that made the trip. Macaulay Bailey stars in the win, 2 for 4 day, 4 RBIs. Abby Martin adds another 2 RBIs to her season total, gets into double figures with 10 on a 2 for 2 day with 2 runs scored. Emma Romika added another And Reese Winchester walked in a run. Martin, the lone Eagle with multiple hits. Final line score of the day. Carson-Newman gets 8 runs on 7 hits with 1 error. They leave 8 left on base. Meanwhile, for the Flying Fleet, 4 runs, 7 hits. Also had 4 errors in the contest as well, as the Eagles will look to get back to the swing of things, get back in the win in what is a huge game in terms of regional standings. Buford with the big win. Carson-Newman trying to get a statement win early in the season against a team from the Peach Belt. We'll have that one for you in about 30 minutes time here on the Eagle Sports Network. Until then, I'm Matt Scalzo saying so long from Hardyville. See you in a few on the Eagle Sports Network.